Listen to me. Winning doesn't happen alone. You can have talent. You can have skill. You can even have drive. But if you don't have the right team around you, sooner or later, you will fall short. Life is not a solo sport. It's a team game. And if you want to be on a winning team, you've got to bring more than just your talent. You've got to bring your heart, your discipline, your commitment to the mission. Because the truth is, a weak link doesn't just break itself, it breaks the whole chain. Everybody loves to talk about winning, but very few people want to talk about accountability. Accountability is the difference between teams that fall apart and teams that win championships. See, when you're on a team, excuses don't just hurt you. They hurt everyone. One lazy decision, one half-hearted effort, one excuse made in the moment can cost the whole team the victory. That's why excuses are poison and accountability is the antidote. Excuses are easy. Anybody can say it wasn't my fault. I didn't have enough time. The conditions weren't fair. If only someone else did their part. Excuses are cheap, but they're expensive in the long run because excuses take away growth. Excuses kill trust. Excuses destroy momentum. And the problem is when one person on the team starts excusing, it spreads like a disease. Suddenly nobody owns their mistakes. Nobody owns their effort and the whole team collapses. That's why a winning team doesn't tolerate excuses. They look each other in the eye and say, if I mess up, I own it. If I fall short, I admit it. If I didn't give my best, I step up and fix it. Accountability isn't about being perfect. Nobody is perfect. You're going to miss shots. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to drop the ball sometimes. But accountability means you own it. You say, yes, I dropped it, but watch me pick it up. Watch me fix it. Watch me come back stronger. And when your team sees that kind of honesty, that kind of ownership, they start to trust you. They know you're not hiding. They know you're not making excuses. They know you're all in. And trust, once built, makes the team unstoppable. Because here's the truth. Talent without accountability is dangerous. You can have the most skilled person in the world, but if they don't take responsibility, they will sink the ship. On the other hand, you can have somebody with average talent, but total accountability, and that person will become a cornerstone of a winning team. Why? Because everybody knows they can depend on them. Accountability creates reliability, and reliability wins games, wins battles, wins life. And let me tell you, accountability is not comfortable. It's not easy to look in the mirror and admit you messed up. It's not easy to tell your team that was on me. But winning doesn't come from comfort, right? It comes from courage. It comes from the courage to take ownership, even when it hurts. It comes from the courage to say, I'm not going to blame anyone else. I'll fix it. I'll grow. I'll do better next time. That's the mindset of winners. Imagine being on a team where everyone took full accountability. Imagine the power of that. Nobody pointing fingers, nobody hiding, nobody making excuses. Just a group of people who all say, whatever happens, I'll own my part. I'll give my best. I'll fight for the mission. That's not just a team. That's a winning team. That's a force that can't be broken because accountability builds trust. Trust builds unity and unity builds victory. So hear me. If you want to be on a winning team, you've got to kill excuses and embrace accountability. You can't control everything, but you can control your effort, your honesty, your response. When things go wrong, don't waste time blaming. Use that time to fix it. When you fall short, don't hide. Step up. When you fail, don't cover it up. Learn from it. That's how you grow. That's how you win. Excuses keep you stuck, but accountability moves you forward. Excuses divide, but accountability unites. Excuses weaken, but accountability strengthens. And when you build a team on accountability, you don't just win games. You build a culture of trust, responsibility, and greatness. That's the real secret of a winning team. Everybody loves the idea of winning, but not everybody loves what winning costs. And that's why so few teams ever become great, because greatness demands sacrifice. You can't play for yourself and expect the team to win. You can't put your pride, your comfort, your spotlight above the mission and think you'll ever build a winning team. Winning requires giving up something, and if you're not willing to sacrifice, you're not ready to win. On a winning team, the mission comes first. Always. That means sometimes you gotta give up your comfort zone. Sometimes you've got to run that extra mile when your body says no. Sometimes you've got to practice longer, study harder, prepare deeper, not because you feel like it, because the mission requires it. Sacrifice is when you choose the mission over the mood, the team over the ego, the goal over the excuse. And listen to me, sacrifice doesn't just mean physical effort. It also means letting go of selfishness. Too many teams fall apart because everybody wants the spotlight. Everybody wants the credit. Everybody wants to shine. But a winning team doesn't need stars. It needs soldiers. Soldiers who fight for the mission, who bleed for the cause, who don't care who gets the credit as long as the team gets the victory. Sacrifice is when you're willing to pass the ball instead of chasing stats. Sacrifice is when you celebrate your teammates' win like it was your own. Sacrifice is when you lay your pride down for the bigger picture. You see, sacrifice separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Ordinary people do what's comfortable. Extraordinary people give up comfort for the mission. Ordinary people work when it benefits them. Extraordinary people work when it benefits the team. Ordinary people think about today. Extraordinary people sacrifice today for the sake of tomorrow. That's why sacrifice is the currency of winning. If you're not willing to pay the price, you don't get the prize. Think about every championship team, every legendary unit, every historic movement. None of them were built on selfishness. They were built on sacrifice. People gave up their sleep, their money, their comfort, sometimes even their lives to accomplish something bigger than themselves. And because they sacrificed, they won. They made history. They left a legacy. That's the power of sacrifice. It multiplies effort. It builds unity. It fuels victory. But here's the truth. Sacrifice hurts. It's not easy to give up what you want now for what the team needs later. It's not easy to silence your ego, to share the spotlight, to choose discipline over desire. That's why most people won't do it. They'll talk about winning, but the moment the price gets too high, they walk away. Only those willing to sacrifice make it to the top. Only those willing to bleed for the mission taste victory. Only those willing to put the team before themselves get to wear the crown. So I need you to ask yourself, what are you willing to give up? Are you willing to sacrifice comfort? Are you willing to sacrifice excuses? Are you willing to sacrifice your pride for the sake of the mission? Because if you're not willing, then don't expect the win. The win belongs to the team that sacrifices, the team that puts the mission first, no matter what. Remember this, talent might get you started, motivation might give you a push, but sacrifice, that's what finishes the mission. That's what builds a winning team. And when the team wins, every sacrifice, every sleepless night, every ounce of pain will be worth it. Because the mission will be complete, the team will be victorious, and you'll know in your heart you gave it everything. That's the true reward of sacrifice. Unity is not just about being on the same team. It's about moving with the same heartbeat, the same rhythm, the same relentless drive toward the mission. Anybody can wear the same jersey, but that doesn't make them united. True unity is when every person decides, I don't care about me. I care about us. It's when the individual voice becomes one sound, one song, one roar that says, we will win together. That's relentless unity. And without it, a team will never rise to greatness. See, the problem with most teams is not talent, it's division. They've got players with skill, but no connection. They've got ambition, but no alignment. They've got individuals chasing goals, but not one mission binding them together. That's why they fall apart when pressure comes. But a team that has relentless unity, that team can take on any storm because unity is stronger than talent. Unity is stronger than pressure. Unity is stronger than any obstacle. Relentless unity means you don't just stand together when it's easy. You stand together when it's hard. It's easy to be a team when you're winning, when the lights are on, when the crowd is cheering. But true unity shows up when you're down by 10, when you've lost 3 games straight, when nothing is going right. Do you still fight for each other then? Do you still believe in each other then? That's relentless unity. When you don't abandon the mission, when you don't turn on your teammates, when you lock arms tighter because you know the only way out is together. Unity is built on trust. And trust is not given. It's earned day by day, choice by choice. It's built when you keep your word, when you show up on time, when you've got your teammates back, even when nobody's watching. It's built when you push each other, not just to be good, but to be great. Unity is built when you can correct your brother, your sister, your teammate out of love, not to tear them down, but to lift them higher. A winning team doesn't just accept each other. They sharpen each other like iron sharpens iron. That's relentless unity. And let me tell you, unity requires humility. You can't have relentless unity if everybody is trying to be the boss. If everybody wants to run their own show. No. In a winning team, every role matters. The superstar matters. The bench player matters. The coach matters. The water boy matters. Relentless unity happens when everybody understands that their piece of the puzzle is essential to the picture and they play it with pride. Nobody is too big. Nobody is too small. Everybody is necessary. And when a team reaches that level of unity, they become unstoppable. Why? Because you can't break what's unbreakable. You can't divide what's glued together by trust, love, sacrifice, and mission. You can't intimidate a unit that refuses to turn against each other. That's the beauty of relentless unity. It makes the team untouchable. So the question is, are you willing to commit to that kind of unity? Are you willing to put aside your ego, your grudges, your insecurities, and fight side by side with your teammates, no matter what? Because that's what it takes. Relentless unity doesn't happen by accident. It's a choice every single day to put the mission first, the team first, the victory first. And when you choose that, when you live that, when your team embodies relentless unity, you won't just win games, you'll build legacies. You won't just raise trophies, you'll raise standards. You won't just be remembered for what you achieved, but for how you achieved it together. Because in the end, winning is temporary, but unity is eternal. That's why the greatest teams are not remembered for their stats alone, but for their bond, their loyalty, their relentless unity. That's the secret to becoming a winning team. At the end of the day, it's not about one player, one moment, or one highlight reel. It's about whether you had the courage to show up for each other, fight for each other, and believe in each other when everything was on the line. A winning team is not built overnight. It's built choice by choice, sacrifice by sacrifice, moment by moment. It's built when individuals stop thinking like me and start thinking like we. The truth is, talent might get you a quick victory, but unity, commitment, and relentless sacrifice will give you championships, will give you respect, will give you legacy. That's what separates those who shine for a season from those who are remembered for generations. So as you walk out of here today, ask yourself, am I building a team or am I just standing in a group? Am I pouring my heart into my brothers and sisters beside me? Or am I holding something back? Because the winning team isn't the one that just scores points. The daughter winning team is the one that refuses to quit on each other. Remember this. Trophies gather dust, records get broken, but unity, loyalty, and sacrifice, they last forever. And when you play with that spirit, when you give everything for the person standing next to you, when you live and breathe the mission together, you don't just win games, you win life. That's the mark of a winning team.